You know how some stories are so powerful they just pop up everywhere, across different times, different cultures? Well, today, we're diving into one of those. It's a timeless cautionary tale about the real danger of letting success and wealth turn into arrogance. And believe me, it's a lesson that hits just as hard today as it did thousands of years ago.
So that brings us to the big question we're tackling. What is the true cost of pride? To figure that out, we're going to look at the incredible story of a man named Qarun.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're going back to the time of the prophet Musa, who you might know as Moses. And our main character here is Qarun, a guy who wasn't known for being particularly devout, but he was known for being mind-blowingly, unbelievably rich.
Now, just to give you a sense of scale here, forget the gold, forget the jewels for a second. Just try to picture the keys to his treasure vaults. There were so many and they were so heavy that it took a whole crew of strong guys just to carry them. That's the level of wealth we are talking about. It's insane.
So right at the peak of his power, Qarun gets a visit from some of the wise, respected people in his community. They saw where he was heading, and they tried to offer him a little guidance, a chance to choose a better path. This is basically the moral crossroads of the whole story.
And this is the advice they gave him. It's really all about gratitude and responsibility. They're basically saying, hey, this wealth is a gift. Use it for good. Help people out. Don't use it to stir up trouble and corruption. I mean, that's wisdom that holds up, right?
But you know how it goes. Just because someone offers good advice doesn't mean it gets taken. Qarun hears him out, but his response? Well, his response is what seals his fate. This is where things take a very, very dramatic turn.
And his reply? Wow. It is just dripping with arrogance. He says, I got this because of my own knowledge, because of how smart I am. He completely cuts out any idea of blessings, or God, or community. It's just pure, unfiltered ego.
So instead of maybe taking a moment for some humility, he does the exact opposite. He doubles down. He parades his wealth around, putting on this huge, flashy display for everyone to see. And of course, for the people who dreamed of that kind of worldly success, they were totally captivated. They were dazzled.
The consequence for that level of pride was, let's just say it was swift and total. Musa prays, and then, in this absolutely terrifying moment of divine justice, the ground literally opens up, and it swallows Qarun, his palace, and every single bit of his treasure. Poof! Gone.
And you can just imagine the effect this had on the people watching. All that envy they felt just the day before, it instantly vanished and turned into this cold, hard understanding. They got the message loud and clear. All the money in the world can't protect you from the consequences of your own arrogance.
Okay, so that story on its own is incredibly powerful. But what I find really fascinating is how this exact same truth, this warning against pride, shows up in a totally different place and time, in the rich oral tradition of Somali Sufi poetry.
So this tradition is just amazing. What these poets did was take these big, universal Islamic ideas and weave them into the local culture, using imagery from the Somali environment and, crucially, composing in their own language. It was a way to make these deep spiritual truths feel real and accessible to everybody, not just a handful of scholars.
And when you put these two worldviews side by side, the contrast is just, it's night and day. On one side, you have Qarun's whole deal. It's all from me, I want this world, it's all mine. Then you have the Sufi perspective. God provides, this world is temporary, the real prize is in the next life. It's a fundamental clash between the ego and a sense of humility. And this line of poetry just nails it, doesn't it? It's the polar opposite of Qarun's entire mindset. It's this beautiful, simple reminder that all the stuff we can accumulate here is fleeting. The true, lasting reward, that eternal bliss, is found somewhere else entirely.
So here we have two very different traditions from different times and places, basically telling us the exact same thing. So what's the big takeaway for us right here, right now?
Well, I think it really boils down to a few key ideas. First, taking all the credit for our own success without acknowledging any help, whether from God or community or just luck, is a dangerous game. Second, real wealth isn't about what you have in the bank. It's about gratitude and what you do for others. Third, this idea of humility isn't just a local thing. It's a universal virtue. And finally, these old stories, they aren't just history lessons. They are powerful, living warnings for us today.
And that kind of leaves us with a final, really challenging question. I mean, we live in a world that often celebrates immense wealth and huge personalities. the very kind of thing Qarun was showing off. So the question for all of us is, how do we actually listen to this ancient warning and apply it to our own lives?